I don't take lightly what happens to children. I lead from that. That is my number one philosophy, what is in the best interest of kids.
Well, for the first time in nearly a decade, Baltimore City Schools has a new leader. The Board of Commissioners unanimously selected Dr. Jermaine Dawson as the next city school CEO. Hi everyone, I'm Jason Newton. Welcome to 11 TV Hill. Dr. Dawson most recently served as Deputy Superintendent of Academic Services in the Philadelphia School District. Prior to Philly, he held administrative roles in Alabama, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. And I spoke with Dr. Dawson about how that start, a passion for education, and a tough upbringing will shape his tenure. Dr. Jermaine Dawson is a numbers guy.
When I think about my upbringing, mathematics, I've always had this love and passion for numbers.
He's an administrator by title, but forever a mathematician.
I've always had this passion for math because it was an absolute for me.
Which is interesting when you learn that nothing was absolute for the newly picked CEO, remembering being homeless in elementary school.
I remember this in second grade. My second grade teacher, Miss Troop, she would bring me clothes because the kids would tease me in school because I didn't have clothes. I had a hard upbringing, and I didn't understand why my way was always so hard, just things just coming at me all the time. But I understand now that I went through things so that I can be a doorkeeper and encourager for other people.
Now city schools, students, and teachers alike will be recipients of that encouragement far from his North Avenue office.
My philosophy is I'm in the classrooms, I'm in the schools as much as I can. When I'm visiting schools, if the kids are on the carpet in like the kindergartners and they're sitting there and they with their legs tied and they're singing and swinging, guess what? I'm getting down on the floor with them.
His goal, more positive outcomes for Baltimore City School students.
The least we can ask of our teachers is that our students are better off at the end of that year than they were at the beginning of the year. Similar to if I put $1 in the bank, I wouldn't want the bank to come back and tell me at the end of the year that that dollar has now transferred to 75 cents. I want to make sure that that dollar is at least $1.02 or $1.05. So that's the least that we can ask, that we're better.
And that's the hope from city schools as well. And joining me now is the chair of the Baltimore City Board of School Commissioners, Robert Salley. Good to see you.
Good morning, sir.
So tell me, what impressed you about Dr. Dawson?
Hey, Dr. Dawson brings exuberance, passion, energy, and authentic relatability to our students and our families here in Baltimore City. So, we know filling Dr. Santelises' shoes is a big set of shoes to fill. Right. So we were looking for somebody who not only has the credentials, who has experiences from other school systems to come and lead here in Baltimore City, but has a deep passion and understanding what's possible for children here in Baltimore City.
Was it helpful that he came from a larger district and an urban district that may show some similarities to Baltimore?
That's right. Dr. Dawson, underneath his leadership in Philadelphia, has a huge budget, has a huge set of responsibilities, and we know here in Baltimore, we're being asked to do more with less every single day. And so we need, a leader who understands, what it takes to run an urban district, but at the same time understands what's unique about Baltimore and how to make sure our programming, our services, our educators are rooted in the culture and the context of our children in our city.
Why was it time? I feel like a lot of folks are saying, test scores are up and Dr. Santelises is doing well and the kids respected her, but there was I'm sure there's a method to the madness.
Yeah, most urban superintendents in this country serve for about 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
We have been so blessed and fortunate here in Baltimore to have Dr. Santelises serve for 10 years. Yeah. So, great things have happened and transpired during her leadership. And so, the time to pass the baton, and we've always said this, to really capitalize on the wonderful things that she has left in her legacy for Baltimore City. It's a strong foundation and a platform to grow on, and that's what we're handing over to Dr. Dawson as he steps into this role.
We know some of the challenges that exist. Well, I might as well just talk about it. Thinking getting kids to school, absenteeism is something. We want to work on test scores. We want to also work on math and reading. So tell me how we want to approach this in this new tenure now.
Yeah, so this, the board has been really zeroed in with Dr. Santelises over the last decade in terms of, our student achievement, these critical issues. And we thank Mayor Scott for his partnership. He's really helped us with attendance. He has his attendance challenge that has helped to get the word out and the campaign on that. Beyond that, that means that when we know children are in schools every single day, that helps us to focus on academic achievement. It helps us to understand, what the unique needs of our learners. And, we recognize fully that every single day we have a robust agenda, a robust learning platform.
Yeah.
And that we have no time to waste to ensure that our kids get the education that they're entitled to.
Now, the tricky part here is that he has to have a healthy marriage with both the board, with the mayor, maybe the
right.
state as well.
Yeah.
Tell me about this marriage and how it has to work seamlessly for the kids.
That's right. Yeah, we look at all of those entities that you just outlined
Yeah.
as critical partners in this work. We are taking a purposeful set of time to create those introductions as he understands the initiatives under Dr. Santelises, understands the funding and the support that each of those partners play in the linkage and the food chain here. It's critical that he has that opportunity to talk about his vision, the reality of budgeting here in the state, the reality of what the city can do, and look for that marriage and that partnership. The board provides the support, the goal setting, those elements that are really critically important as our North Star for the district.
I have a city school student at home. I have one who's off in college now. I know that they're positive, so I can't let you go without talking about some of them. What has impressed you leading up to this point as the board chair so far?
Well, I started off my teaching career here in Baltimore City,
Yeah.
so it's not lost on me. 25 years ago, I came to city schools, had an opportunity to see, just the rich history and the culture and how that's reflected in each and every one of our learners.
Yeah.
The way in which the district continues to evolve and grow, that we have educators who are really dedicated to this craft, to this profession, our school leaders. I know the Heart of the Schools Award is coming up here in Baltimore City, but that's what gets me out of bed every day, is looking at our young people, seeing their potential, hearing their enthusiasm and passion for being not only a student, but a citizen of, a global citizen and a citizen of the city of Baltimore. And so, as we look to the next 10 years in one day, as Dr. Dawson says, we're rooted in thinking about how do we meet those needs of our learners. We know that our children are far more interested in technology, they're interested in sports, they're interested in CTE. We've got all of these great things that we need to weave together in a fabric that will undergird our work, that will help us support young learners in their post-secondary, their opportunities.
Okay, looking forward to the new year.
Yes, sir. Thank
Good
you.
to see you, Mr.
Thank you,
Salley.
sir.
Yep, and you can see more of my interview with the CEO and the new initiatives that are coming forward. It's all in the WBAL-TV 11 News apps.